These are notes from Melham's Math 75, section 6.2, compound interest. I should have already sent this to you. Under compound interest, we take our interest rate and divide it into a certain number of equal pieces throughout the year. So as an example, let's suppose we have 12% per year. Here's a little table: compounding period, rate per period, that's the I, number of periods per year, that's the N for the year. So if you have annual compounding, the rate stays 0.12, and that's one time per year. Semi-annual, well, you divide this by 2, so that becomes 0.06 twice a year. Quarterly, divide by 4, so 0.12 divided by 4 is 0.03, 4 times a year. Monthly, divide the 0.12 by 12, that's 0.01, 12 times a year. Daily, which we won't be doing any problems because the calculations don't come out so good, but we would take the 0.12 and divide it by 365. That's a very small number, but that is 365 days a year. Okay, here's question 4 on page 380. You have 12% compounded monthly for 3 years. So what is the I and the N? So the I, you take the 12% and divide it by 12 since it's monthly, and it's 1% or 0.01. And the N, the number of compounding periods, is 12 times 3. 12 times a year times 3 years, or 36. So that's what you would be punching in your calculator. Number 6, 10% semi-annually for 8 years. So I take the 10% semi-annual means divide by 2. So 0.10 divided by 2 is 0.05. So the I is 0.05. N would be 16 because it's 8 years times 2 times per year. Now here's some actual calculations. In number 8, P is given to be 8,600, 8 years, 10% semi-annually. So semi-annually means I divide the 10% by 2. So the I that I'm plugging in is 0.05, and the N is 16 because it's 8 years times 2 times a year because it's semi-annual. So N is 16. Then I plug into the formula. S is equal to principal times 1 plus I raised to the nth power. So 8,600, 1 plus 0.05 to the 16th. 8,600, 1.05 to the 16th. Punch in your calculator, round to the nearest penny. 18,772.72. Okay, number 10. Principal is 6,300, 3 years, 12% monthly. The actual question asks for the interest, but right now we'll start off just like problem 8. So 12% monthly means you divide by 12, so I is 1% or 0.01. N is 36 because it's 3 years times 12, 12 times a year because it's monthly, 36. So this is my I, this is my N, plug into the formula. So 6,300 times 1.01, that's 1 plus I raised to the N power, punch it in a calculator, $9,013.84. Now the question asks for the interest. So the interest is the difference between the new amount, 9,013.84, and the amount that I started off with. So I started with 6,300, it grew to 9,000 plus, so the difference is considered interest, and that's what you would have to report, for instance, for tax purposes to the Franchise Tax Board or the IRS. So I just subtract 9,013.84 divided by the original 6,300, so the interest that I made on this account was 2,713.84. Here's another one for number 12, 9% compounded quarterly, and the new amount, this time's a little bit different. The new amount, the S is what they give me, 1.2 million for 25 years. Okay, so 25 years, the interest rate is 9% quarterly, so the little I is 0.09 divided by 4, since it says quarterly, that's 0.0225. The N is 25 times 4, which is 100. Okay, so this one, 1,200,000, that's not the amount of the principal. That's the amount that you want to grow. That's the new amount, so that's the S. We're trying to solve for P. 1 plus I is 1.0225 raised to the nth power, which is 100. Okay, so I divide both sides by 1.0225 to the 100th power. That's why it was crossed out here. So P is 1,200,000 divided by 1.0225 raised to the 100. Comes out to be 129,673.01. Of course, when you look at this video, you can't see it very well. That's why you're just using the video for my audio, so to speak, and just watching where I point, and you're looking at what I've previously sent in the attachment for the video. Okay, this is problem 25, but we said we're going to skip that. So those are the notes for 6.2 on compound interest.